Hey guys, I'm back, and this is episode 1 of the Who Was review, and here's a sneak peek of episode 2, but today I'm reviewing all the A books that we have. So this is the first one. This is Who Was Abraham Lincoln. And the chapters in this book are: Who Was Abraham Lincoln? Life in a Log Cabin, The Wider World, a Member of Congress, The Great Debater, Mr. President, Civil War, End of Slavery, A 2-Minute Speech, The War is Won, Farewell to the President, and the Gettysburg Address. And then on the back, it says, a boy who only had a year of schooling, a practical joker, one of the greatest presidents ever. So on the scale, 1 out of 10, I would rate this book a 9. This is one of my favorite Who Was books, and it's one of my favorite president books. It's actually probably my second favorite president book. My favorite president book, well, it's in the R's, and it's Richard Nixon. It's a newer one. Next, this is a What Was book. This is What Was the Age of Dinosaurs. And the chapters in this one are What Was the Age of Dinosaurs, The Prehistoric World, The First Dinosaurs, The Jurassic World, Rulers of the World, Here Comes the T-Rex, Dinosaur Babies, Wiped Out, Finding the Bones, The Bone Wars, Secrets in the Bones, and Are Dinosaurs Really Extinct? And then on the back, it says, it began over 230 million years ago. Some of the earliest dinosaurs weighed only about 8 pounds. Dinosaurs and birds have common ancestors. So on the scale, I would probably rate this one a 6, because I thought it was pretty good, but I'm not too big of a natural guy. I got this one because I thought it would be interesting, kind of learn about the dinosaurs and stuff. But I thought this one was good, and I have read it a lot because I did like it. And then here are the pictures inside the book, if I can find them. Okay. Here are the pictures. Now this is another What Was book. This one is The Alamo, and this is in my top 10 favorite What Was books. I do like this one a lot, and it's just very interesting. The chapters are What Was the Alamo, Come and Take It, The Army of the People, Rumors, Who's in Command, The Blooded Banner, Help, Attack, Overrun, Remember the Alamo. Here are the pictures. And on the back it says, it was a mission built by the Spanish in the 1700s. It was the site of a long and deadly battle. It was the cradle of Texas liberty. So on the scale, I would probably give this book probably an 8. I thought it was very interesting because I actually kind of like a lot of the kind of war what was books. And if you see in the back, I do have a what was book back there, which is the Berlin Wall. So the Alamo I think is a very good who was book, so that's why I gave it an 8. So let's move on to the next one. Well, okay, we're back to people now. This is Who Was Albert Einstein. Also, the books are in alphabetical order by name and stuff, so thought you would like to know that. So, who was Albert Einstein? Now, this is actually one of the first Who Was books that came out. This is a newer copy of it. So, the chapters are kind of hard to see, but they are Who Was Albert Einstein? Born to Think. What's to be done with a genius? Albert takes a very deep breath and keeps thinking. The best years. Albert's high gear. War again. Albert's time is up. And then on the back, it says, one of the most brilliant human beings who ever lived, a scientist whose discoveries and theories led to the TV and the atom bomb, and a peace-loving guy with very crazy hair. Now, on the scale, I would probably give this book a 6 or a 7. I thought it was good, but, some of the scientific stuff they talked about it, I didn't really understand. Unlike my friend, because I have a friend who really likes mechanics and stuff. So, my friend probably would have understood a lot of the stuff like I didn't. But this is, Who Was Albert Einstein? Okay, this is the first Where Is book in the A's. This is Where Is Alcatraz, which is actually, this is one of my favorite Where Is books. The chapters are Where Is Alcatraz, Island of the Pelicans, Gangland, Welcome to the Rock, The Daily Grind, Escape from Alcatraz, The Rock is Ours, Alcatraz Now. And then on the back, it was the most famous prison in the United States. It was once the home of Al Capone, and in an escape attempt, a prisoner made rafts out of raincoats and cut through a stone wall with spoons. And then here is the map. So, on the map, you have, so I'll zoom in. So, in the upper corner, you have Marin Country, Horseshoe Bay, Golden Gate Bridge, and San Francisco Bay. And if you come down here to that corner down there, you have Perdisto, San Francisco, Perdisto Heights. And then over here, you have the Marina District, Fisherman's Wharf, Pacific Heights, Financial District, Russian Hill, North Beach, Pier down there, that's Pier 33, and then over there's Alcatraz. Then on the pictures, you have interior of so up in the top left corner, you have interior of a prison cell in Alcatraz. Down there is a view of Alcatraz from San Francisco, Alcatraz from the bay, and then prison cells in Alcatraz. Now on the scale, I would probably give this book a 9 or an 8. I thought it was very good, very interesting. So that's why I gave it a 9 and an 8. 9 and 8. So let's get to the next one. This next one is Who Was Alexander Graham Bell? So the chapters are Who Was Alexander Graham Bell? An inventor is born, a turning point, an ear for sound, endings and beginnings, a new direction, a sound is heard, race to the finish, famous words, victory, and an inventor to the end. So, if you guys are wondering, this book came out in 2013, so this is one of the older ones. I thought, well, before I get to that, the back, so the boy who gave himself a middle name, a young man who taught deaf people to speak, and the inventor of the telephone. So I thought this book, again, was pretty good. So I'll probably rate this one probably a 7 or 8. Next, this is Alexander the Great. This book was released in 2016, and the chapters are: who was Alexander the Great? The son of his father, a prince's life, the adventure begins, Alexander in Egypt, showdown, king of Persia, to the edge of the world, the desert march, and death in Babylon. And on the back, a fearless young boy, an emperor who conquered most of the known world, a ruler who liked to name towns after himself. I would give this book, again, probably a 7 and 8. I thought it was very interesting and very good because I didn't really know much about, the stuff back in the day, so this one was good. And I do have a friend who's into, the Greek stuff, so he, really gets enjoyed about this stuff. Next, this is Alexander Hamilton. The chapters are: who was Alexander Hamilton? A Caribbean childhood, a remarkable boy, King's College, General Washington's man, the new country, the Federalist Papers, Secretary of the Treasury, at home, unexpected tragedy, and legacy. And then on the back it says an orphan from the West Indies, the first Secretary of the Treasury, a founding father of the United States. On the scale, I would give this book an 8, a 9 or 8. Next, this is who was Alfred Hitchcock. So the chapters are: who was Alfred Hitchcock? Call Me Hitch, The Director's Chair, The Silent Era, Britain's Great Director, Hello Hollywood, War, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Twists and Turns, The Bates Motel, and The Birds, and in the final chapter is Sir Hitch. On the back, it says a clumsy young cadet in the British Army, the talented director of award-winning movies, and the master of suspense whose films had thrilled millions. I would give this book a 9 or 10. I thought this one was just very interesting. Next, this is Amelia Earhart, or who was Amelia Earhart? The chapters are: who was Amelia Earhart? Young Amelia, a woman of character. Amelia chooses a career. Amelia takes off. Amelia becomes a hero. Amelia, the businesswoman, pushing the limits, the final flight. On the back, it says the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, the first woman to fly across the Pacific Ocean, and a courageous pilot who disappeared mysteriously during an around-the-world flight in 1937. So, I would rate this book probably a 7 or 8. Next, you have who was Andrew Jackson. This is the second president book. Yes. And the chapters are: who was Andrew Jackson? A brave boy, restless, a new frontier, from lawyer to leader, new trouble with old enemies, road to the White House, the trail of tears, behind the scenes, battling the banks, last years. On the back, it says a 13-year-old messenger during the American Revolution, a general whose nickname was Old Hickory, the 7th President of the United States, So I would give this book, a 9 or 8, because a lot of the president books I find really interesting, and I thought this one was interesting because I didn't really know much about Andrew Jackson stuff, and I don't know if you guys have known this, but PHI Games and History, this is PHI Games and History's favorite president book they made. So that's just a fact I thought you guys would like to know. Okay, we have 5 more books to go. So this is Who Was Andy Warhol? So the chapters are Who Was Andy Warhol? Pittsburgh Art School, Ad Man Breaking In, Pop Art, Factory Life, Making Movies, The Exploding Plastic Inevitable, Superstar, and Legacy. On the back, it says, a sickly boy named Andrew Warhol from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a talented printmaker whose art sometimes resembled advertising, and the founder of the pop art movement. I would give this book probably a 5 or 6, because I wasn't really interested in the topic too much. Because, again, guys, I don't know if you know this, but most of these books are PHI Games and Histories too, so I buy them and I read them. So some of them are mine, some of them are his. This one's his. So I wasn't really too interested in it, but I thought it was actually a little interesting. So I'll probably give it a 6. Okay, 4 more to go. This is Who Was Anne Frank? The chapters are Who Was Anne Frank? A Happy Home, A New Home, Another World War, Occupied, Yellow Stars, Kitty, The Secret Annex, Caught, and One Dream Comes True. On the back, it says, a high-spirited child, always playing pranks, a young Jewish girl forced into hiding for 2 years, the author of one of the best-loved books in the world. I would give this book probably a 7. Another Where Is book. This is Where Is Antarctica? The chapters are Where is Antarctica? At the Bottom of the World, Mountains, Volcanoes, and lots of ice, The Coldest Place on Earth, The Unknown Southern Land, The Race for the Pole, Amazing Animals, More to Explore, and Antarctica Today. On the back it says, it is the coldest and driest and windiest continent on Earth. No human has set foot on the continent until the 19th century. It is home to many cold weather animals, including the emperor penguin. Here is the map. So you have West Antarctica, South Pole, and East Antarctica. And so the little dots, these are what they mean. So number 1 dot, which is where my finger is right there. That is the Ross Ice Shelf. Number 2 is the U.S. station. Number 3 is Mount Erebus. And then number 4, which is right there, it is the highest point, the Viston Massif. Number 5 is the Larsen Ice Shelf. And then number 6 right there is the Antarctic Peninsula. And number 7 is the Argentina station. And then the pictures are, starting on the left, they are an arch-shaped iceberg in Antarctica. And then at the top there, passengers on a cruise ship along the coast of Antarctica. Penguins, and then a Weddell sea pup. Also, in the back of the book, it has other books, because it's a new one, and the new ones have that. There are Who Was Ernest Shackleton? What is Climate Change? Where are the Galapagos Islands? And what was the Ice Age? I'm just saying we only have one of these books, and that is Who Was Ernest Shackleton? And I have been thinking about buying that one too. So I will probably give this book probably a 8 or a 7. This is the next Where Is book, and this is the final Where Is book in the A's. This is Where Is Area 51, and also this is my favorite Where Is book, so it's going to be high up. The chapters are Where Is Area 51, just the space on the map, Gathering Intelligence, The Roswell Connection, The Cold War Heats Up, UFOs or U.S. Aircraft, The Air Force Strikes Back, Conspiracies, The Box, Is There an Area 52, Area 51 Today. On the back, it says, which of these facts are true? It's a Nevada Air Force Base that keeps the public far, far away. CIA agents do super secret work there. Some people believe aliens and the spaceships are stored there. Here's the map. Also, some of this map got ripped accidentally, so that's why it's kind of ripped and stuff. Anyway, on the map, starting at the top up there, that's Oregon. And then there's Idaho. And then over to California, you can see Sacramento, San Francisco, and the Golden Gate Bridge right there. California, like I just said. Yellowstone National Park. I can never pronounce it. Up there's Reno, Nevada. Nevada, Area 51. Las Vegas is down there. And then Arizona and the Grand Canyon National Park. Again, the pictures got kind of ripped, but I will try and read them out for you. So, at the top, a heavily guarded entrance to Area 51 with warning signs. Down there, a sign for the Little A-Lee Inn, restaurant and motel. And then an A-12 plane, which looks like a flying saucer. I'll rate this book probably a 9 or a 10. I thought it was, again, very interesting. Finally, we're almost done. This is the final book. This is Who is Aretha Franklin. I got this book before she died, so that's why it's a Who is one. So, there's Aretha Franklin. The chapters are Who is Aretha Franklin? Daddy the Jazz Preacher. Big Changes. Aretha Hits the Road. New York, New York, I Want Hits, Respect, Amazing Grace, Jump to It, and Long Live the Queen. And then on the back, it says, a young girl with a powerful voice, a teenage gospel singer who became a pop music star, the queen of soul, and one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. And in the book, it has... The other books are What is Rock and Roll, Who is Dolly Parton, Who is Elton John, Who is Stevie Wonder, and again, the only one we have out of these is What is Rock and Roll. So I would rate this book. I'll give this book probably a 7. Anyway, bye guys. Thanks for watching. This was episode 1 of the Who Was review series. So see you later, and also go and check out my Funko Pop reviews.